Hi, welcome to Goals with Gary. So today's video is going to be a slightly different goal, and I've put out one video already on this type of goal, and the goal is getting out of debt. That is a goal, that was a goal of mine, and I accomplished it, and I know it's a goal of many people to get out of debt and to live debt-free. It's not easy to do in today's world because we live in a debt-ridden society. We have a debt-ridden government, states, individuals, school debt, credit card debt, underwater on houses. I mean, debt, we're just swimming in debt in America. But as an individual, I hope that that is one of your goals because there is freedom when you're not in debt. So I talked about in the one video I've done on debt goals was to the baby steps or the snowball effect on paying off debt. But the first step that all financial experts recommend is to get an emergency fund, create an emergency fund. An emergency fund is there for when life happens, when things come up that are unexpected, that you didn't have money set aside for, and that you got to have. It's not, and I've got a whiteboard. I'm going to show you some examples, but it's for when those things happen that were just, catch us off guard. So let me show you this little list I've got. Okay. So what is an emergency? It could be a blown tire. That's very unexpected. It could be, what do I have on here? Your washer breaks. I've had that happen before. And thirdly, maybe you wear glasses and you break your glasses. These are things that when they break, when something bad happens, you have to replace them. These things you can't live without. You can't go without a tire. You can put the spare on, but you got to get that replaced. So that's what an emergency fund is for. As you're digging your way out of debt, if you didn't have any money set aside to cover these unexpected expenses, then you might have to borrow, put it on a credit card, or go without. And so that's what the emergency fund is for. Now, what is it not for? Birthday presents. Birthdays are not a surprise. The people we love, the people we're around and celebrate their birthday comes the same time every year. Christmas. Christmas is not an emergency. It comes the same day every single year. A TV going on sale. That is not an emergency. Even if we were saving for a TV, that is not an emergency, the fact that it went on sale. An emergency fund is to help take care of those things that are going to happen while we're trying to get out of debt, because life happens. It goes to that old principle, and I think it's Murphy's Law, that if anything bad can happen, it will. So we want to develop an emergency fund. So how do you get an emergency fund? If you're trying to get out of debt, if you're in debt, how do you get one? That's a great question. So you want to get it as quickly as possible because it gives you a peace of mind when you have some money set aside. There's many ways. You can offer to work some overtime if that is a possibility. You could take on a second job. I've done that many times in my life. Even though I work a full-time job, I took on a part-time job 1 or 2 days a week just to add a little bit to my income. You could sell stuff. I mean, you look around your house, how many of us have more than we need, more than we can imagine? You start going through stuff, sell it on Facebook Marketplace or eBay or Craigslist. Whatever way you need to develop that emergency fund and do it as quickly as you can. Because once you have that in the bank and it's there just for emergencies, then it's going to give you some peace of mind. So, and make sure when you get your emergency fund, don't put it in an investment account. Put it in a savings account. That way it's easy to get to, it's easily accessible. You can go to the ATM machine and take it out very quickly. So how much do you need? That's a great question. So a lot of financial experts say about $1,000. And that was what I did when I developed my emergency fund, when I started my getting out of debt journey. But you know, with today's prices, I don't know if that's quite enough. I mean, a tire for a car is probably $200 plus, depends on the size, but that's not an unheard of cost. So $1,000 might be a good starting point, but I'd even say a little bit more, maybe $1,500 to $2,000. I wouldn't go any lower than $1,000, but in today's world with the prices as they are and the cost of things, you know, even a car repair can be very costly. So I would say somewhere between $1,000 and $2,000. Cash in the bank in a savings account. We're not worried about earning interest or anything else. We just want it there for an emergency. And lastly, what are the rules that go along with an emergency account? Well, that's what you're going to have to determine. What is an emergency? What is not? If you're married, then you work that out with your spouse. If you're single, you need to develop some rules, because let's say you had $1,500 sitting in the bank, and again, something goes on sale that you'd really want, but you got to decide beforehand what's an emergency and what isn't. So I hope this helps. If one of your goals is to get out of debt, do this first before you do anything else, before you try and pay off debt. Get this emergency fund so that when you're going on your journey of getting out of debt and paying debt down, you've got something to take care of those unexpected things in life. Well, that's all I've got for today. I'll link my other video on how to get out of debt rapidly in the description. So thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Please like the video, make comments, and share it if you would. Thanks a lot.